This shit is awesome.
Yo, son, you gotta roll some more of that shit outside. You don't have any more papers, man. Music videos?
Yeah.
We're playing your music
Over
videos
and away.
too. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I hate watching myself. It'll be great.
Are we on 3? Is it time to record now? Oh man, I'm so glad it's time to record. You guys, I had such a long week, man.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
If you guys are wondering, for those that are listening right now, who was that girl in the background? That I was gonna get there. I was gonna get to that special guest, but I will do it right now because I know everybody's like, "Well, I want to hear this girl." Guys love when we get girls on there. I don't know why.
Really?
It's weird. Like I understand why, but it's just like, yo, like she's a person.
I am a human.
You know what I'm saying? We had this one guy
A
call when
female
a girl was here. Just said a very lucrative comment, and I was just like, yeah, let's try to keep it PG now. You know what I'm saying? But what's good, everybody that's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us from, man. We love you and we appreciate you. I go by Steve DaMar. You already know what it is. That guy over there that you can't see and you probably won't really ever see, but that's my brother right there. He's N3 on the track. That's the engineer. That's the producer of this whole thing, man. There you go. See? You got a glimpse. So you see he exists. I definitely, I have a special guest today. And I'm really happy to get this person because I actually did a show with her. And I was really, really interested in her music. It was different from everybody else trying to sound a certain way or be tough. No, she was really like, I'm not going to be tough. I'm going to teach you how to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Forget showing you how to be. I'm going to teach you, you know. So we have, I'm going to say all the names too. I wrote it down so I don't fuck up too. She got some names, y'all. So we got Jeni Ann Jones, a.k.a. Jeni Jones, a.k.a. Jeni from the beach, and my favorite that I want to call you, a.k.a. Space Dragon.
Oh, thank you.
I love Space Dragon.
You're too kind. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So I go by Jeni Jones.
Jeni Jones. Okay.
That is my name for everything.
For sure.
I will happily answer to Space Dragon though.
Yes, thank you. I love your name because I grew up in the 90s, right? So back in the 90s, I had to show. There was a show that I used to watch. It was a talk show host, and her name is Jeni Jones.
It's true. People tell me that. I know who my people are when they say, "Did you know there was a talk show in the '90s?"
Do you even know who she is though?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Cool.
And then they start throwing out like Sally Jesse Raphael and Montel Williams, and then I'm like, but then I'm like, yes, because I know that we were raised on the same talk shows, and you know, I considered having a rap name.
Okay.
For like 10 seconds.
Oh, so Jeni Jones is your real name?
It's my name.
Oh, nice.
And I also realized that I can't manage 2 names. I just can't. I don't know how people do that. I mean, kudos to them.
There's more money if you think about it.
It's just a lot of places nowadays, like our presence online and how we communicate information. When some people send me things, and actually this is funny, I've had artists on where you know, I'm trying to tell people go listen to their music, but they've changed their name some way, you know, and then you're directing them to 5 different places,
or it says page not found.
But I'm also just like, it's hard enough to get anyone to pay attention to you anyways, so you know. But yeah, I'm blessed to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I really appreciate being here.
I mean, thank you for being here, like especially on a Saturday, and not only just a Saturday, but a Saturday morning, yo. I understand
I have my coffee.
How people are good for you. I don't drink coffee, but if it helps you guys get through the day, then you know, to each their own. Like for real, I got nothing against it. I just don't really like the flavor of coffee. I don't know. I've never been. I know it helps, but I was like, shit, I'll just go out my day and just take it. If I'm tired, fuck it, I'll just take it. I'll take it as a tired day, and I'll just still go till it's time to go back to sleep.
I'll just go take a nap later.
No naps, yo. No, so, but yeah, Space Dragon. I want to get back to Space Dragon because for those who don't know why I say Space Dragon, Jeni Jones' music, if I can speak of it a little bit, her music is kind of like a mixture between being an astronaut and just being a kung fu like Shaolin master, like honestly, like a dragon, like your moves, the way you, I don't know, just the way you move. Like we got some videos, and I'm definitely gonna play some clips, but just the way you move, it's like, you know, when those dragons that for New Year's and stuff, how they have them like that, they're just so like slick like that. You're just doing that shit with your swords, and you guys, she can fight, like she can sword fight like crazy. I'm sure you can fight for real, like too, but as far as like sword fighting, like what got you into stuff like that? Like
So I'm a martial artist.
Nice.
I've always loved martial arts.
Okay.
I've done it on and off throughout my life. Currently, I study wushu. I'm a black belt in wushu.
What is that? If I may
Wushu is
ask?
kung fu. So,
Okay.
so wushu is the Chinese term for kung fu. My teacher is from China. I do
Okay.
northern and southern style forms. So, a long time ago with a different group, I went to the Shaolin Temple and trained in China.
Nice, I heard
that was
that one.
amazing.
Mm.
And now I do it, and I like weapons. I do staff, broadsword, straight sword, like a two-handed longsword, fan. And recently I just started learning whip chain and started learning spear. So there's always more to learn. I got my black belt, and the moral of the story is you get your black belt and you realize you know nothing, you're just a beginner anyways. And even though it's impressive
so?
and cool to put it around your waist, there's 1,000 million more different forms and things you can learn. And martial arts for me is an extension. I'm also a dancer, and I've always been a dancer my whole life. So
like ballet.
ballet, jazz, tap. My first job was I was about, I want to say I was like 10 years old, maybe 9 or 10 years old.
Damn,
and
that's
I
young.
was in the Joffrey Ballet Company, and I performed at the Dorothy Chandler downtown, and I performed at Orange County Performing Arts Center. And that was like my first job. Like I had to get a work permit to leave school to do this.
Damn.
And so from a young age, I've always loved work, discipline. Like discipline is my jam, you
and
know?
you've always just been focused.
Yeah, like for me, any art form that you practice is a discipline.
Right.
And when we say we practice it, it's we practice that art form. So and that's true of everything I do, whether it's dance, martial arts, and then I would say like most recently would be music and emceeing,
Okay.
you know, and I look at that as a discipline, and I'm very
definitely.
and I'm very
Hell yeah, it
disciplined
is.
with my approach to that too.
Whether it's from practicing our cadence to making sure
Yeah.
we can record without. I was just talking to 3 about this too, because I want to continue to do like how I used on my shows. I used to perform without just the instrumental basically in the back,
Yeah.
and just go raw and stuff like that. And I feel like that's part of the discipline that you need to have. You need to have that breath control. You gotta be able to move around and perform for people, and know when you're tired, and you know when to stop and stay in one spot. But you still, it's so tricky, because sometimes, especially artists like me, when I get in my mood and I get in my zone and shit when I'm recording, when I'm performing, I gotta move around, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I have my producer put some like vocals in the back just so I can catch my breath. But it's just because I've always been that type. Like I never let being big just stop me from doing anything like moving around or dancing on stage or just anything like a skinny person would. So that's why I just like, I know what you mean, and I can definitely relate to what you're saying as far as hip hop being so, and being a musician in general takes it takes a certain, not only a commitment but a discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and I think also you know, for me, and I can't speak for anybody else,
right, of course,
but a lot of the art forms and things that I do, like the end product is really cool and impressive, but the actual tedium of getting to that end product is not cool and impressive.
Right.
And like, yes, like, you know, for example, in wushu, like, yes, I have a belt, and I post videos sometimes. One of my videos, my tofu video, I have
Tofu,
sword
I
plate
like that
in
song.
it and stuff like that, and I snowboard in that video.
Yeah.
You know, and what you don't see is me going to practice for an hour and a half,
Right,
3
right.
times a week, you know, to get to that point. You know, as a dancer, you know, I growing up in high school, like I would dance probably 5 hours after school. Like
Damn.
kids go to school you're out at 3, I'd be dancing from 5:30 till 10:30 at night.
Right.
You know, I did my homework during my lunch hour through all of my education so that I could do these other things at a higher level. So kids go eat lunch and have fun with their friends. I eat lunch and do my homework at lunch, you know?
Right.
And so, like, that's sort of been my entire life has been that way. You know, I went to school.
So you're used to that. So when it's time to go on the road or go on tour, like major tours, you'll be used to being okay with sleeping.
From your mouth to God's ears,
Yeah.
you know, if
Oh, no,
that's the
I
plan,
believe
I'm
it.
there and
I
ready
believe
for
it.
it, you know?
I believe it because I've also been doing more research on you, and I've seen that you've got yourself like a little LA tour going on right now.
Yeah, so I saw people posting these really exotic like flyers for their tours, like they were going on their European tour and their, you know, tour of Asia and what, you know, South American. And I was like, you know what? I'm touring east of the 405. I'm from the beach. I'm Jeni from the beach. All hip hop shows happen east of the 405. So I'm going on tour as the Space Dragon east of the 405. And you know what? So far, not a single show has happened west of the 405 for me. Again,
It's going to.
It's going to.
You got to put that into your universe.
But
you started off with this, right?
Yeah.
You weren't expecting that, and then you ended up getting those shows, and so you know it'll fall into place.
Right,
I believe it.
And so I kind of was compelled to just put myself on tour, and then ideally, like, I think I'd love to start doing shows out of state. Like, that's the next
It's
step.
fun.
Like, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Actually, I would be happy to leave LA County, like Orange County. Maybe I do an Orange County tour, or like San Diego.
Like original mics or something. You know?
Yeah, my real dream, to be honest, is to perform at the Taco Bell Cantina in Las Vegas. That to me will be the pinnacle of any rap career.
That'd be great. I know you can do more. You can do more.
I know, but I really just love Taco Bell, and like that would be.
Who you telling shit?
That'd be an amazing show.
Get a
chalupa.
We telling shit about a Taco Bell.
Chalupa and do a show.
They got the little
You wanna
box.
come?
I'm down.
Let's
I'm
make
so
the
down.
show happen. We might
Let's-
just rent the place. I
Let's
don't know.
do it. See, and it's crazy that just because I was talking with another guest that we had on here too. So we got an event coming up too. So it'd be dope, like build another event with you. Like I'm with it, Jeni. Like, just as you guys can see from anybody that's just now tuning in, watching or listening, we got the special guest Jeni from the beach, aka Jeni Jones, aka the Space Dragon. Like, we have her as a special guest, and I'm sure for those who already been listening and watching, like, you can just see why I have her as a guest. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Every time, no doubt. Every time I have a guest on here, and also, let me put this first before, because you know I know people are gonna be like, wait, what's going on? We are having a weed-free episode today.
You can smoke?
No, because I don't want to smoke in front of you, because I don't know how. Like you said, I don't want to mess up your image. I don't know if it's okay with you to be in front of weed.
Somebody commented too. Somebody said, "Where the drugs?"
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Because we're technically.
Well, you can smoke, but
I don't call weed drugs though. Just put that out there.
I don't call it anything. But
It's a plant.
yeah. So I'm not a true. I will come clean. I am not a true pothead. I am a true pot scrounge.
So he told me that.
I don't buy it.
Uh-huh.
I've never bought it. I don't know how to do any of the things that everyone does out in public that look really impressive, where they roll things
and that's why
and pay but I will gladly smoke it and I
Thank
will
you.
or eat it or whatever. But I just scrounge it off people. Like and again,
No,
that's
definitely.
been my entire life, and I think as an adult, you know, since it's become legal, especially like. I don't even really have much of, like, I don't think there's a stigma attached to any of it in any way. So I think everyone's going to do what they do no matter what. And for me, I just can't do any of those things and drive. Like,
Right.
like when you're in LA, you have to drive everywhere. And so,
true.
like, today, you know, I'm doing
Especially
this.
you're out here, yeah.
I'm
We
hanging
brought
with you
it into the
guys.
hood, y'all.
Well, no, but then I gotta drive back, and then I
Right,
gotta
right.
be downtown later, and then I gotta be out in the. And it's like if I, you know, if I did that right now, I'd be on this couch here, and it'd be lovely.
Like,
But
wake me up in an hour.
it would be the end of my day.
Well, I mean, but are you okay if we smoke? That's what I'm saying. Like,
you
whatever,
guys can smoke. I don't care.
I want my artists, whoever's my guest, I want them to feel comfortable. And
No,
if
you
will,
guys can do
All right.
whatever you want.
Cool.
It's, you know, we're in California.
all right, for sure. Well, we're gonna go on to this music break real quick, and we're gonna play some of your music, if that's okay.
That's
actually,
awesome, thank you.
Actually, now for all of y'all that's just now tuning in to this episode for the first time, this is the first time you're ever hearing or seeing us. We got this new thing now where you can watch the videos now on our site. So when we go on break, they can watch the video now.
Oh, cool.
It used to be just like, you see that little cute picture of me
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there?
yeah.
It used to just be me. It's like, hey.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? But now you can watch the video while we go on break. So
Cool.
that's cool, you know. So can we play Soulful You 3? I love that song, man. Like, or what is that one right there? Yeah, Soulful You. Let's start off with Soulful You. You guys, I want you to hear this and see how original she is, how different she is, and how much knowledge and just what you can just learn from this this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's gonna put game on you through these videos, but as well she's gonna put you on game through this podcast. So thank you again for being here with us.
you.
We're gonna play your music video. This is Soulful You
This one's for Neil.
from the lovely
You're a good
Jeni
man,
Jones.
There you
and I
go.
like that about you. Always doing exactly what you're told. You make a good father,
Is our mic off?
husband, and friend, and a boring old man with
I know, you have a fresh haircut.
If
So every time we get a haircut, you look like a different person.
I imagine it would
That's so he's a co-host of the LA Unlocked podcast.
Oh, hi, I'm
He's
Jeni.
the radio show. That's Jeni Jones. Jeni Jones has Deuce. What's up, man?
You know what
You know what I'm saying? Get that shit out there, bro. So all of us, me, you, and Chara, bro, when we come onto the scene, bro, we have unique hairstyles, bro.
Takes me to dinner at a 5-star restaurant and goes
Oh,
to the
shit, so I
table
guess
while
it
I
is
tell
still
him
live.
what
My
I
bad.
want.
I guess it is still
Unfortunately,
live.
I like a petting zoo. Like petting, that's all we're gonna do. I wish you would maybe nibble on my ear. You don't have to draw blood, just add an element of fear. Walking tofu, talking tofu, eating tofu is like hanging out with you.
Look at this shit. If you guys are watching, man, look at this, yo. It's coming up right now. This one.
Tofu is something I don't do.
Look at this shit, dude.
Tofu,
Oh,
tofu,
right
walked,
between the
I
legs.
imagine it would
That's
be
hard,
a
bro.
lot
That's
like
tight.
If tofu sat out in an open plane, I'd rather pick it with it.
You got dance moves, too. You can tell you
About
dance.
your life is college days at night. All the chemicals you suggested. How
Was that a
I'm not
cemetery?
trusting,
Yep.
and I've been arrested maybe once or thrice.
Dice. I love when you do that shit.
Walking tofu, talking
Shout out to Cali, man. Cali got some talented artists, bro.
Feels like hanging out with you.
Look at
Walking tofu, talking tofu, eating tofu is something I don't do. I want to put you on a plane and send you back to your land. I thought Canada was cool, but I guess it's bland. Cause you seem to have fun pumping iron at the gym, and the local pub's the coolest place you've been. I'm not trying to be snooty, not trying to be a bitch, but you're so fucking nice that it's hard to ditch ya. Walking tofu, talking tofu,
Which one? Which one?
Paper Planes. MIA. MIA Paper Planes.
Oh, okay.
Thank
you.
got like that flavor.
Talking tofu, eating tofu is something I don't do. Hard to ditch ya. Walking
Something I for sure don't do.
talking tofu, eating tofu is like hanging
He's a martial artist, bro.
Walking tofu.
And you filmed this video, right?
Yeah, and edited it and directed it.
Eating tofu is something I
You ready to come back after this? You ready to come back after this?
Yeah,
Alright.
I can talk about it. I like talking about this song.
And then maybe if it had
This is my first song.
Yeah.
like deep fried in buffalo sauce, and then you love it dressing to dip
The
it
Roger Rabbit is for real.
in, right?
Alright,
I'm
let's
trying to think of other applications of tofu that would actually taste good, but it's really hard.
What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy Steve DaMar, yo. We were just playing a music video for the lovely Jeni from the beach, yo. Jeni Jones, yo. So tell us, yo. Tell us about that
I like
music
talking
video,
about
please.
this about Tofu You because so I wrote this song a really long time ago.
Okay.
And I was at an Aerosmith concert
Nice.
and
Shout out. What is it? Steven Tyler? Shout
and
out
I
Steven
literally
Tyler.
like went in the bathroom and wrote this song, and I did nothing with it for over a decade. Literally, it just like I didn't know what it was,
So-
you know, and it scared me, and I was like, I don't know what that thing is, but I wrote it like front to end, the whole thing, and
Did they have
when-
anything to do with tofu at the show, or?
no.
Okay.
But so then I started hanging around some musicians and started just kind of like thinking that there might be something there. And my idea was like I was gonna meet someone to record the song. I was gonna like see if someone would do it for me, right?
Got you.
That's not what happened. I actually ended up making the song myself, making the beat myself, and everything myself.
Nice.
Um,
Little producer too. I didn't know that.
and I've kind of was like I tried to get a bunch of people to help me and no one wanted to, and like there were a lot of guys that were making music around me, and I think they were just kind of, you know, everyone's in their own thing, but also like they're kind of dismissive of it, like what are you gonna do, you know? And so I was like, fine, I'll just make it, and I made this song. I wanted it to sound like, so I never got to like do music in high school or be in a band or anything, so I really wanted the drumming to sound like my like 13-year-old neighbor who's learning how to play the drums came to my garage to make this drums.
Raw, like
So
fresh,
like
yeah.
that's like that was like all I really was like going for sonically, was like I wanted to sound like we can't quite figure out things at certain points, and then also
That's
like
dope.
I replaced a lot of the cymbals with my sword,
Okay.
because I felt like of that era, if we were just like
How
recording.
so? Like, what do you mean?
So my sword makes a noise when I like stab with it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I replaced like cymbals with the sword sound instead of like having a cymbal.
That's crazy. I probably didn't notice
Yeah,
that. But damn.
and then like I wanted it to just feel like we were in my garage making this song happen.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know how to make music. Like this was me learning how to use GarageBand,
Yeah.
really,
Oh, you
and
did
learning
on
how to
Garage-
mix and master.
Shout
and
out
everything.
GarageBand, yo. That's what we all
I
get our
actually
start,
didn't
yeah.
even have a mic, so I recorded all my vocals into my laptop.
Okay.
From the comfort of my bed, because I really didn't feel comfortable rapping outside my bed when I made that song. And then I just thought that I would like put, you know, like I would send the song to my family and they think it was funny or something.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of snowballed, because once I had this song out that I had lived with for so many years, I started hearing more songs and hearing, you know, and it just snowballed. And I suddenly had tools to do this thing that I just felt so passionately about doing. And because I'm a filmmaker, you know, making a video just felt like a natural extension of, you know, that video specifically. Like I was in a wushu tournament, so I just was filming the tournament. I was snowboarding, so I was, you know, I grew up being a snowboarder. That was actually at Snow Summit, which growing up was my home mountain.
For those, when she says wushu, she meant kung fu.
Yeah,
right?
kung fu, yeah.
Just to clarify for everybody.
Yeah, so when I was snowboarding, I was snowboarding one day up at Snow Summit, and it was a beautiful California day, and I was like, this growing up, like all I ever wanted to do was like be in a snowboard video and like be in those old
Did you play
skate
those video
videos.
games too?
No, but I loved like skate videos. Like I grew up just like popping the VHS tape in and watching skate videos and stuff. So I'd always wanted to be in a snowboarding video, and that just never happened for me. So I was like, fine, now I have a song. I'm gonna make my own snowboarding video. So all those things that I was kind of doing in the video were just natural things that were like part of my life that I was doing, and. Once I made the video, it was hilarious. I sent it out to everyone. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to put this on the internet.
Yeah,
and like
see if it
people's
goes viral.
responses were so varied. And part of me was discouraged. And then part of me was like, this is like me in a video, this is me making music,
So when you
rapping,
did that,
singing, doing, like, this is me. So like, if you don't respond to it, that's fine, but you're probably not gonna like me.
how long ago, if I'm gonna cut you off, I'm sorry, how long ago was that when you did that, where you were just sending it to people?
I think it was like, I think it's been about 2 years since I came out as a rapper.
So I asked that to say this,
which is a weird process.
just because now is more of a year where it's or the time that we're in now is like you got to be more unique now. So whatever is different from what you from normality, I guess, on the radio or whatnot, it gets liked a little more.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're more welcoming to that. There's people that were like that. I've been like that all my life, but sometimes it's just it was just like too shy. I don't want to say, oh, well, I can listen to this. Or now we can be like, yeah, man. But like now, bro, I'm like, man, I bump Space Dragon all the time. Like, fuck what anybody thinks on some real shit. Just because it's different and it's unique to the point where I definitely am not gonna hear another rapper talking. I mean, there's one person, and I'm not gonna compare because you guys are both unique in your own way. But there's one person that I like a lot that you kind of remind me of a female version of him is the RZA. Like, I don't know if you heard of RZA from Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? I love RZA's music.
That's the highest compliment you could
definitely,
give me.
because the RZA,
thank you. I appreciate
the
that.
RZA has always just been like, man,
thank you.
We love you, Raekwon. but like his
Thank
music is just the whole fallopian tube flow and that
Thank
whole era.
you for
Like,
saying that. That's really sweet.
it's different. Nobody's talking about that. So when you're coming in here teaching me some kung fu shit, but also showing me like what it feels like to be an astronaut, which I'm gonna ask next, like, because I know you were working with SpaceX for a while.
No. So I got invited to NASA this last year to go watch a space launch. They invite normal humans to go watch things launch into space. Okay. They kind of go through a pool of applicants. My application was really I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I had a couple glasses of wine when I filled out the application.
Ooh,
and I was
please.
like, I
tell.
literally just wrote, I'm a rapper and I want to write space jams. Like, that was my application. It was pretty lame. And they picked me. So I went to Florida to NASA Kennedy.
Shout out Michael Jordan, Space Jams.
Yeah, it seems obvious, right? And I get in this room and we go, there's a lot of people, probably 50 people. We're on live NASA TV, and there's like, there's weather people, there's meteorologists, there's science bloggers, there's people like going after this to lobby with Congress, all these like experts in this field.
Yeah.
And we go around and say what we're doing, and I get up and I'm just like, hi, I'm Jeni, I'm a rapper, I want to make a space jam. And like the room was just like, loved it, because it was kind of just like, I don't know anything. Literally, like, I like space. I read Carl Sagan. I like to read. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, I love
but
him
like,
too. He's dope.
But in terms of like what was actually happening, I had no clue. And so my main thing was when I was going, I just had this constant like thing in my head of me just hearing I'm going to space. Like, I chanted it for the entire month leading up to me going. Yeah. And so when I got there, the capsule, it was a SpaceX NASA collaboration, the capsule that they were launching was called the Crew Dragon. Okay. And I was going to the Crew Dragon demo test, which went up to the ISS, the International Space Station's cruising around. Okay. And the fact that it was called a dragon just like it just captured my imagination. And so part of the impetus for writing the song was I grew up listening to a lot of hip hop, and there weren't a lot of female artists and voices. And a lot of the things that I was either emulating or listening to as a kid, like I remember asking my mom, like, what does it mean you know, what's a libido? Like, what does it mean that she's sleazy? Like, you know, lyrics from songs. And I was like, I want a little girl to be like, who's Anne McClain? Who's Elon Musk? What is Carl Sagan? You know, and I was like, maybe I could put something out there that's specifically not even for teenagers, but like little kids.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's
so that
true.
You
little
know,
Einsteins, you can call them, I guess.
Well,
turning them into little Einsteins.
But it's just like, you know, maybe it'll turn some little girl onto hip hop. Maybe she'll think, oh, I could do that, or maybe she'll just be like, imagine things about space or look up words. Like, kids are really smart now and they look everything up.
Let me throw this in there too. You can also probably be creating the next astronaut. That little girl or that little boy that was listening to you was like, yo, like, I'm into space. Thank you for showing me all. And bam, you just like, now 20 some years later, this person is studying to be an astronaut.
And I also just like, lyrically, I like being challenged to use I don't know, to like it was, I kind of wrote in character of the space dragon. Okay. So like one of the things that really struck me was these people go up to the ISS, and I watched this documentary while I was there, and they're taking pictures of the Earth, and they're taking pictures and talking about our environment and talking about the Earth from up there, and there's people on the station from all different countries coexisting, getting along, having all the resources and things that they need to live on this tiny little thing orbiting the Earth, looking back at the Earth, and we're here making a mess. And I was like, wow, I was like, those people are the space dragons. Like, the people who go to space, what it means is that they're there to solve the Earth's problems, to study science, to figure out our environmental crisis. And there's a lot in the song about the environment and about how
I never looked at it like that. That's so freaking crazy.
There's one line in it about like, I hope one day humans see past artificial lack, and I think that, you know, a lot of our problems are caused by man-created mentality of lack.
Was that sad? You were talking about right now?
Space Dragon.
Oh, that's Space Dragon?
Yeah, like in Space Dragon I talk about that because I think that, like,
do we have that? Can we?
I don't have a video. It's a song.
It's a song. I heard it on SoundCloud.
I do have a video shot. I just haven't put it out yet.
Okay. I want to. Can we play that song real quick? I want to hear it. It's
called Space Dragon.
Space Dragon. It's on what is SoundCloud?
SoundCloud. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify.
Okay.
It's on but yeah, so when I started to like really see what they do at the space station, which is where this capsule was going, I realized that like we create a sense of not being enough, not having enough, needing more, and I think that like our big environmental crisis right now, like the whole world needs to work together to solve this thing. But again, this song is like fun. I rap about dragons. I like I name drop a lot of dragons in it.
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear this because I want everybody. Let's check this out.
Okay. I'm a space dragon. I'm a space dragon. I'm a space dragon. I'm going to space. We're going to space. I'm going to space. Okay, well maybe not deep space, but I'm in space. I just think kinda chill at International Space Station. Thanks to SpaceX engineers, I'm beyond earth's containment, and I'll launch myself into the air. The spaceship gets safe. No, I'm not gonna swear. I'm the space dragon. Yeah, I'm the space dragon too. Elon and NASA call me commercial crew. I prefer space dragon because I ain't with pop. Falcon really small, toothless, moosh. I'm not a Swedish soldier, but then there is I got you. Drogon, Viserion, Virgil, you're my kind. Falcon 9 brings me into orbit, then I leave my loud bird friend behind. Ripley and I, we hit outer space. Self-propulsion's all mine. This rendezvous is ours. We're dunking on time. One day we'll get space trips. Animal meat. And McClain, a new era in human space life is the demons off the chain. Look, Ripley, we're above the rain. Look, Ripley, from up here we see lightning storms swirling far below. Blizzards, oceans, organisms, all the life forms we know. Look at my Earth, she's coming back. I hope one day humans see past artificial lack. Dragon riders, so we got each other's backs. Here we can see borders coexist in peaceful order, destroying our fully inhabitable planet. It's whack, polluting Earth's environment. It's whack, gotta have all the things facts. Gotta study hard, kids, gotta learn all your facts. Up here we've got everything we need to sustain astronaut lives. Space dragons like me prove that education, innovation, preparation, spirit that I'm a testament to inspire collaboration. Cosmos contains all divine creation. Wish homes like it was here for commercial space exploration. It's just the beginning for a new generation. I'm in space, we're in space, all of us in space, all the human race. Where what woman goes now is a leap for womankind. We all share the wonder, though I'm a space dragon, I won't steal the thunder from other beasts to explore. I love all beasts who dare. Respect to those who dare mighty things. Even typical robots got their own fucking flair. Even rovers are canonized and they expire up here. Golden peace, opportunity. Welcome back, curiosity. I'm going to space. We're going to space. Let's all hold hands and win this race. I'm a space dragon. We're the space dragons.
Deep, yo.
Shout out to my friend Nomadic who mixed that one for me. He did a solid. So the picture, I don't know if you saw the picture on the cover. So that was me standing on the launch pad at NASA Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
And that's where all the Apollo missions went
right
from.
There. We have it up there for y'all so you guys can check it out.
And then I'm looking out over at the rocket that's like ready to launch the next day. This was the day before. And my friend Nomadic, he mixed the song for me and did the cover art on that. So shout out to him because he did me a solid on that.
Definitely, man. Shout out Nomadic, man.
Thanks, Nomadic.
Thanks, Nomadic. She sounded adorable right there. Yo, so that I don't know that music video. I mean that song just like it really opened my mind and just it's like you opened my third eye with that.
Thank you.
I want to know like what about that song do you think can really help change, can really like put people on game on knowing what's really going down with NASA? And how did you come up with the whole idea of wanting to give us that type of, you know what I'm saying, information?
Well, I think like I think for me, like, you know, music can do a lot of things, and art can do a lot of things. And with that song specifically, I felt like I was given an opportunity to experience, I mean, once in a lifetime thing as an adult to go and watch this happen. And I kind of wanted to encapsulate the enthusiasm of that in a song, but also from an imagination standpoint. And obviously, like, this Space Dragon is from Southern California and sounds like a Valley girl, and I leaned into that in the song because SpaceX is here and was part of this mission. And so, you know, if that's the character. That dragon's from the Valley.
Gotcha.
So, and I think, like, you know, I name drop pretty much everything that space related that I learned that week, or, you know, that I was thinking about. But also, like, I think it's important in music not to just point to the problem, but to show a way out. And I think that for me, the realization that we're all space dragons and that we're all hurtling through space right now, and that we're all on this planet that's going through space, and all of us are responsible for that. And it's not a race, it's not a competition. You know, I say let's all hold hands and win this race, because the space race is the one thing where the world has managed to come together and create this space station for over 20 years. I don't know how many, I think it's 20 years now, but there has been a human in space. I don't know if anyone knows that. Like, there has been one human being at least in space for the past like couple decades.
I'm pretty sure.
And this is an international endeavor. And the other thing is that there are a lot of cool things that have been in the news cycle about mission, you know, the Mars mission, the rovers, and all these things that are happening in regards to space travel. The space station where there's actually humans, what specifically happens there is science. And the science that happens there isn't just about space travel. It's about curing things on Earth. It's about coming up with new technology that cures diseases on Earth, that helps our environment. So all the science and things that happen on this station in this lab are things that come back to Earth, and it teaches us history about how our Earth got here. It teaches us about like how the planets were formed. So all of the science that's happening, and I am not a scientist, I must clarify, I do not work I do not work anywhere.
Sure sound like one to me.
No, I'm not. And I think people sometimes miss the point of like we're doing all this so we can leave Earth, and that's not the goal. We're stuck here. We've got to learn how to use all of these tools to stay here peacefully and to collaborate here peacefully within even, with even our own families or within our own, I look at the space station and these people are on there for months with people they don't know. Sometimes they don't speak the same language, whatever. Like they live in this tiny little close quarters with all these restrictions and manage to get along, but also to do serious science work, to make art, to take photographs, and it's like they're not even given gravity, right? We're
true.
here. We've got gravity.
Yeah.
We're stuck. We don't have to worry about
how much harder it is.
We don't have to worry about this table flying away, like, and it's like.
Imagine we do a podcast in space and we're just like, yo,
and
drop the
mic. I think like all these little things that people take for granted, and again, it goes back to this idea of lack of like, they're always like, this isn't enough. This isn't enough. We're here in this setup. We need this. We need that. It's like, no. We actually don't have to worry about flying away. Like, we have water. You have water. I have coffee. Like, and I think that for me, the song Space Dragon, again, doesn't necessarily accomplish any of that, but I hope that maybe it kind of gets a kid or two interested in science,
right? Yeah, definitely.
Gets the kid interested, maybe they look something up and go, wow. Or maybe they get interested in Game of Thrones or any of the, I name drop all the dragons. There's Harry Potter dragons in there, there's,
No, but, I mean, I'm going to continue with the whole dragon, because I love that shit. Like, I love that. Like, I want to know what got you into, like, let's get back to the dragon, the sword fighting and all that. What was it that got you into that? Like, what was it? Did you see? Were you a fan of Wu-Tang? Is that what got you, or did you? As a kid?
I've always been, obviously like Karate Kid and like I've always been into martial arts movies. I think it's always been in the zeitgeist. I think cartoons growing up have always had, some version of martial arts in them, whatever. I love Ninja Turtles. Like,
definitely. I think that's why we got along so well on my show, because I was a Ninja Turtle at the Halloween show.
Ninja Turtles, yeah. So I love those as much as I love pizza.
Nice.
Not as much as I love Taco Bell. But
shout out Taco Bell. We trying to get a book.
I've always loved martial arts. I love weapons. I think they're really beautiful. I love all the martial arts films that are out there. Crouching Tiger.
She means like swords and knives and stuff like that, y'all. Not like
I mean
guns
like Shaolin Temple.
Yeah,
like
those kind
so.
of
Actually, my teacher, Master Hu Jianqiang, he's from China. He actually is in all the Shaolin Temple movies. No, he's in all the Shaolin Temple movies. So fighting Jet Li, which is like. Amazing, and so I train with him, and I get to train with him. It's the greatest thing on earth. He's in LA. If anyone needs a martial arts instructor, hit me up. But I think I started it because I was a girl. When I was really young, I was a girl who did a lot of activities, and they were all a bunch of dudes. I was a snowboarder. I grew up with brothers, and it never dawned on me. I was a skateboarder. Like it never dawned on me to not do that. Like, I never saw that as like something boys do. And then when I went to do it, the reality is that you get there and there's a bunch of guys doing it. Yeah. And that's, I think that's changing over time. The class that I'm in now is pretty diverse. In fact, a lot of times it's all female class. Oh, that's good. But for me, that I used to do a style that was more fighting, so we would fight a lot. And it was a lot of sparring and a lot of punching people and punching bags, and I didn't like it. I felt I don't know if there's any martial artists listening. This is something to consider. Do you martial?
Shout out the martial artists.
I don't know. So I found that when I was doing the really
I shop at Marshall's.
Yeah, I found that I was really doing the really like harder hand-to-hand defensive stuff. what it did was it made me as a person defensive. So if you're always thinking in self-defense, you approach the world as someone who's going to defend themselves.
Right.
And psychologically, when I was doing that style, which was more karate, Shaolin Kempo, which is like, it's all the same. It's all kicking and punching. But someone's going to write in and say that's not true. But the Taekwondo guy's going to get mad.
Look, somebody just sent this.
The Jiu-Jitsu guy's going to get
see
mad.
a notification right there? Someone's
going to write in and be like, this.
It's not all the same.
It's not exactly. Yeah, people really. This is not something you want to mess with. I'm saying very.
As soon as you said that, somebody said there was a notification.
I'm going to say something very controversial right now.
Don't take your head off.
No,
say it.
No, it's just it's all the same. It's all just different names for things.
Okay.
It's all just like slightly different tweaks on the position of your foot or hands or whatever. It's just like dance. All dance is the same, and yet it's all so highly specific and different. I could geek out about dance styles. But with martial arts, you know, when I was doing a very specifically fighting driven, I was grappling a lot. So jiu-jitsu, if there's a jiu-jitsu guy yelling at me, they like to yell too. But like, no offense. There's jiu-jitsu's intense.
Like they're drill sergeants or something.
No. It's just it's the like MMA stuff. But like,
gotcha.
Yeah. So like, I found that when I was doing that, I was approaching my life, like everyday life, from a defensive perspective. So I would walk into a room and be like, where's the exit? What could I use as a weapon? Like, again, these are like not normal human ways of being in this world. But then also you think people are coming at you all the time.
Right.
And I didn't like living like that. I think it really did some damaging things to my psyche. And so after I did that style, I took a break for a long time. I wanted to get back into it. And I kept going back to being at the Shaolin Temple. Every time I would go back to thinking of what I felt like at the Shaolin Temple, the forms I learned there, I was like, I want to go do that. But I didn't even know what that was called, honestly. I was like, what is that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I stumbled on Wushu. And coincidentally, the teacher I approached, I found the class because I went online, and it was the only thing I could do at that specific day and time.
Okay.
As many things in LA are, I can make it there by 7 in traffic, you know?
Yeah.
And this teacher actually ended up being in the Shaolin Temple movies. And
Nice.
I walked in and I watched what they were doing, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to do any of that. I'm going to do it. And like that's kind of how I approach everything. Like, that looks really impossible. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And I had a really hard time when I started. I think for the first 6 months, I would sort of have, again, if you're a martial artist, I'd love to hear if anyone has any opinions on this, but like I would have sort of muscle memory flashbacks to when I had practiced before, and it would actually really affect me emotionally. I would sometimes cry after class, or because I felt when my muscles were doing things, I felt the trauma of either being hit or hitting someone.
Is that how you created sorry to cut you off. Is that how you created that song Sad?
No, so yeah, I mean, kind of sad to me, yeah, so SAD is an acronym.
I was gonna ask that next.
It stands for suck a dick. But it
Suck
also
a
is a
dick,
wordplay in that I'm really...
Now I get why you said that in the song.
It's also called Love Me, but as a woman, I think a lot of times I find myself in situations where I'm the only woman, and not you guys are lovely, but there's like bro dudes out there, you know who they are.
You've bro dudes.
Yeah, bro dudes. Yeah. Bro dudes.
Right.
You know the bro dudes.
Right.
And the bro dudes are in a perpetual wiener waving contest.
Yeah.
They're always, they got them out.
Who sticks the longest?
And again, it literally has nothing to do with sex. It's like, it's just, it's like a mentality. And I've found myself in those situations, and I'm always kind of like, man, I want to whip my dick out. Not my whip, but you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like
We have the song. Can we play the song?
Play the
Would
song.
That be cool?
The song is self-explanatory. Just listen to the lyrics, because it's not sexual. It's not sexual.
It's sad, but it stands for suck a dick. Yo.
It's not sexual at all. I promise.
I like this. You guys are gonna like this song for real. Like, it's dope.
She wish she could stick her fucking chest out to him.
This
like,
yeah, exactly.
It's the first song I heard from you, and
this is
I
my bro
really
song.
Like this song. You know what I'm saying? She's bringing that West Coast
Telling
too.
me to stop swearing like a sailor. I lived aboard a motherfucking brig. I'll furl your jib. All Furl your jib, you get
That
it?
was a dope beanie. Is that a beanie or what was
Go
that?
ahead, be trash, I'll gladly take you out. I'm the world's Febreze, not one to cover my mouth. Clear stuffy rooms with unpopular points of view. Speak uncomfortable truths. Watch shady minds struggle to bloom. Make us think we think for ourselves. The canon grandpa created belongs up on its shelf. Never mind, I'm going up, gonna drag that shit down. Burn it in my Weber barbecue. Throw a block party for all of you. There's no shortage of dumb wieners here to pass around. Cause white bitches wanna wave all their dicks around in a rave filled with motherfucking D. Sausage, Frank's, Vienna, weenies, no fakes. I don't need a PP so I can pull rank. You all wanna make yourselves big, but trying to make a girl like me feel small. Well, you're gonna be shocked when I cop a squat and you realize that I'm the biggest dick of all. Cause I don't have a dick, but if I did, you could suck it. I don't have two balls, I have ovaries. Suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick. How are you supposed to love me with a mouth like this? With a mouth like this. How are you supposed to love me with a brain like this? With a brain like this. How am I supposed to love you with a heart like this? With a heart like this. With a heart like this. I'm just a swordswoman running from my clan. I traverse the land, follow God's plan. I probably look lonely, so if you think that you know me, maybe stop, say hi. I'll bow, say ni hao. I'll call you sensei, call you shifu, call you teacher, my friend. All souls I encounter, all souls I collect, deserve all my respect.
I don't objectify myself, I'm not an object made for men. Maybe show some respect.
I'm a nameless, faceless, Shaolin Kung Fu nerd. A warrior training hard, got kicked out of my herd. I train for the thrills, not bothered by skills. I collect souvenirs from the fears that I kill. I'm not Jeni from the block, I'm just Jeni from the beach. I'm not here to teach or preach. I take myself to church, only hear what's meant for my dome. I know my father loves me, I know heaven's my home.
Suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a
It's so funny when it jumps into that.
How am I supposed to love me with a mouth like this?
Oh, I fucking love this song.
How am I supposed to love me with a brain like this?
with a brain like this, with a brain like this. How
I know my father loves me with a heart like this.
with a heart like this, with a heart like this.
I know my father loves me with a heart like this.
Thank you.
Like somebody getting their ass whooped.
It's basically Christian hip hop.
Right.
I'm saying I know that my creator loves me, even if I gotta tell you to suck a dick.
Oh, that's so crazy. It's basically Christian hip. Wow, you guys. We are here with Christian rapper Jeni Jones.
I'm not even joking. Like, part of the song is that, you know, a lot of guys are given a pass with language and
That's
given
true.
a pass. And it's funny because I say something that's so not even, I mean, it's dirty, but it's not. Like, I'm not even saying anything that bad, honestly, compared to
Yeah.
what all the other female rappers who are popular right now say and talk about. And it's like, for some reason, it like hits this nerve, and I couldn't even get a male producer to produce the song. I did it all myself. I would tell people I want to make a song, and they'd be like, that's not a hook, that's not a chorus. And I'd be like, yeah, no, it is, you're gonna. And it was funny because I just did it. I was like, I don't feel
But
like
do you
it.
see how you created such a dope ass beat
Thank
that
you.
nobody else
I love
probably
that
would have
beat.
been able to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody else could have made a sick beat like that
Thank
that
you.
you were probably around or would have worked with. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
thank
They
you. I
would probably,
appreciate that.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Watch your face.
what's that thing called when
Hmm?
sometimes you gotta do it yourself.
Your face.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just have to do it
you just
yourself.
gotta do it yourself.
You got to fuck that song is so dope. Like
Thank
I like
you.
it. It's just it's not even like I'm not laughing at the fact that it's different. I'm laughing at the fact that you're really like saying something deep, and then right after you're like, well, suck a dick, suck a dick. It's like that shit was like wow. Like
Thank
she's
you. I
putting you
appreciate
on game, but she's also like fucking a savage and telling you, you know what, fuck you, suck a dick anyway. You want to listen to me if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying. We do get away with saying certain things, and that most women will be looked at as differently. I understand if a girl ever tells me like, man, suck my dick, that shit just turns me off completely. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
and that's the other thing is like I think, and part of the chorus is that it's how are you supposed to love me with a mouth like this?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to love me with a brain like this? How are you supposed to love me with a heart like this? Because I think that, you know, from my perspective, you know, we're taught that we're not lovable, and if we're not quiet and shy, and if we don't, you know, use certain words, and it makes us unlovable if you say these things, or it turns a guy off, or it, you know, and for me, you know, it was important for me to talk about martial arts in that song, and to talk about, because all of the things that I'm talking about in that song are things that make me unlovable, right? And I don't mean like unlovable. Like I mean, I love,
I get what you're
I
saying.
love
The
me.
things that
God
you're saying,
loves
like-
me. You know, my friends and family who get me love me.
Yeah.
But but
Guys are like, I don't want to hear a girl that says suck my dick.
a guy doesn't want to
because
see
they're
it.
not digging deep into what your meaning is.
Yeah, like again, it goes back to the bro dude mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bro dude would be intimidated by a girl who knows how to use a sword, or who even gets up on stage and raps. Like that's or who
That's your girlfriend, bro. I'm scared.
bro, yeah. And so like, and I don't necessarily make things for other people, but I'm expressing what a lot of women feel right now, which is like we have these platforms, we have Twitter, we have YouTube, we have all these, we can say and do whatever we want, and yet the second a woman does something that seems out of line or not in line with what people want them to do, they get piled on.
Or what's normal.
Like even look at our like politics and our representatives. You know, we have a president saying grab him by the pussy, like what I'm like even shy to say that, like
exactly.
right, you know, like that to
it.
me is horrible to say. And like what, you know, one of the women, a senator or congresswoman, says the word bitch or something and gets piled on like she's some sort of trashy person. And I'm like, the double standard for what men and women can say and do say, you know, again, be a lady, be a lady, be a lady. It's like I'm a lady, and I also can tell you to suck a dick.
Yep.
If I need to.
strong-minded
Not
lady.
not you guys, not the listeners. You guys are all nice. It's the bro dudes. And I always preface it because I
And
started.
you bro dudes know who you are.
Well, when
so-
I perform this song, I just started performing this song not that long ago. I was
Okay.
really terrified because I was like, it's got to be the right room to do it, you know? And so I did it. It was a more underground show, and it was like all dudes in the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I feel like this is the time to do this song, you know? And so I was a little hesitant, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell them this is not for you.
Yeah.
But you know who you are, though.
Yeah.
If you think it's for you, it's for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
exactly.
and then and there's certain shows where I do not do that song. I don't. Yeah. Like sometimes I'm on shows because you got to feel the room. And
exactly.
I did it the other
Exactly.
night. Oh God, I did it the other night because my girlfriend came to watch me, and I did the song, and I wasn't gonna do it, but she was like, "I want to hear the new song."
Shout out to girlfriend.
Did it, and then the guy after me was like singing Broadway show tunes.
Oh wow.
And I was like, ooh, maybe that, you know, I didn't really set him up, you know, I was like, but again, you got to do what you do. But I definitely think when you're performing, you have to read the room, and sometimes that one's not appropriate. It'd probably be
Great
good in a strip
advice from
club,
a great
maybe.
artist, y'all.
Probably be good in a strip club.
Hey, for real, huh?
Yeah, that's an ass shaking song.
And that was an ass shaking song.
Yeah.
Everybody, yo, it's been such a blessing and such an honor to have a great, talented artist on the show. Jeni, thank you for being on the
What?
show.
It's
with
been
us.
an hour?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Oh,
like,
I
we
was
did
worried
this,
I
yo.
wasn't that interesting.
No, you are very interesting, and that's the thing. Like,
Thank you so much for having me.
I don't mean to sound biased because you're my guest, but I honestly feel like any guest that I have, they're here for a reason, and your story, I'm not saying I speak for everybody, but your story is very interesting to me before I
Thank
met you
you.
and the research I did. So I definitely knew if I brought you on here, you'd be impacting other people as well. And we're getting comments, we're getting love, so I know you're impacting these people. You're showing them, like, you know what I mean?
Thank you. I
I'm gonna
appreciate
bow
it.
with you. I hope I'm doing
Thank
it right,
you.
because I know you get slapped in the head if you don't do it
Power,
right. Please don't
peace.
slap me in the head.
Peace over power.
It's your boy Steve DaMar. That is Jeni. Tell them who you are. Let them know.
I'm Jeni Jones.
Jeni Jones,
You
what
can
else?
find me on Instagram at Jeni and Jones.
Okay.
Or at my radio show, Jeni from the Beach. And everybody have a blessed day. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Thank
Hit
you,
me
y'all.
up.
Much
I'm around.
love for
I'm in
everybody.
LA.
It's your boy Steve DaMar. You can find me STVDMR. That's N3 on the track. It's spelled the way it sounds, yo. Thank you for tuning in to True Potheads Podcast. I love all of y'all. Stay blessed. Stay high. If you don't, stay proud. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
This shit is awesome.
Yo, son, you gotta roll some more of that shit outside. We don't have any more papers, man.
I love you more than most. I love you more than me.
I love you more than most.
I love you more than most. I love you more than me.
I love you more than most. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. If you ever fuck up, I'll help you hide the body. If they lock you up and throw away the keys, just make sure there's an extra bunk bed in there for me. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. Sometimes I wanna punch you, but you're still my bestie. Our love is analog, it's off the grid. I've loved you since we were kids. I held you through the 80s, 90s, and aughts. We don't need to talk daily for me to hear your thoughts. Don't need to hold your hand, don't need to touch your face. I just wanna love your dumbass through time and space. Way back one day we were scrappy kids. Life was kind, rewind. I remember meeting your superstar face. You were running, always running, dying to grow up like life was some kind of race. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. I can't see you now, but I hope you're free. We broke things, we broke things, we broke things we can't replace. We said things, we tagged things, left our name on this place. We saw things, we heard things, we took steps we can't retrace. I know things, you know things, let's pinky swear just in case. I love you more than most. I love you more than most. You're all my family rolled into one. Brother, mother, father, sister, sometimes your son. We scream at each other, that's just part of our flow. Are who we need to be for the other to grow. I love you more than most. I love you more than most. I'll tell you again, you're the love of my life. Doesn't matter if I have a husband or a wife. You're always gonna be number one to me. I love you, you're my stupid bestie. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. Sometimes I wanna punch you, but you're still my bestie. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. Sometimes I wanna kill you, but you're still my bestie. I love you more than most, I love you more than me. I can't see you now, but I know you're free.
Hashtag negative vibes. Hashtag all my tribes.
Hashtag positivity. Hashtag
Yeah. Use so many pretty words, you don't know what you or they mean. Words like friendship, love, and divine. All those colors in between. I realize now
you never wanted a friend, you only wanted fans and followers.
saying you'd say anything to me, her, him, them, to send us on a like no loving spree. Complete with stupid emojis. Your pretty words spell bogus. Throwing round big adjectives like it's your fucking job. Robbing words of all the
Needing praising someone up above with copied Instagram posts, associating your handle with other success, with Einstein quotes, with positive beacon. You're out every night,
being, sending your senses into an oblivion. Your heart into a knot.
chicken Titanic, boatloads
A pop. If you knew what LOVE meant, you wouldn't come in so hot. To every situation like it's gonna be your last. You savor good, healthy time and listen to what others have to say.
Maybe call or text all your hashtag homies back.
Practice humility and grace. You wouldn't vomit comments or press send so fast. You remember a simple name and face. Operate from that spiritual wealth, that depths of lack.
Some say words don't matter, I'm disinclined
To agree, it's not how you make others feel upon first meeting that gives you the right to profess your good intention. Eternal love and vibes, always raving about your tribe. Save your half for your followers, save your lives for bots and fans.
I'm a human being with feelings,
Not an MRO filtered, also ran. Hashtag negative vibes. Hashtag all my tribes. Hashtag positive only. Be mindful of positive only words you choose, cause idiots like me might believe in philosophies other than memes and pictures when another human gently attempts to connect.
using words like soulmates. Don't act so shocked by what comes next.
Expectation of a situation that flows two ways at least, with humans who love humanity real time.
real respect.
I know it's my fault, I'm classic narcissist supply. I got a target on my head, broadcasting my own lack of self-worth. Hit me up with all your pretty words, I'll totally believe even hashtag twinning, hashtag bestie since birth. I was born yesterday when cream flatter's involved. I crave all your adjectives, crave all your nouns, but I'm learning self-love and I'm learning self-like.
And next time you boomerang back into my
Feed, I'll remember how it feels to follow you and love all your pretty
filtered bullshit lies.
This shit is awesome. Yo, son, you gotta roll some more of that shit outside. You don't have any more papers, man.